Good morning. Today is Tuesday, October 11th. I'm Danielle Wiggins with your 3 News Now morning update. We start with Hollie for a check of today's fall forecast, and it's a beautiful one, Hollie.
Danielle, is it ever? I mean, we are in for one of the best. So we started off in the 40s and 50s, clear skies, lots of sunshine, fall color pretty much at its peak. And as we get into the afternoon, would you look at this? We're talking 70s. Upper 60s, that is what you call picture perfect weather for windows open and all things autumn for sure. Hopefully you have the opportunity to get outside of it. Then as we get into late afternoon and this evening, we start to see an increase in cloud cover. But notice it's not like as we get into tomorrow, we're talking washout conditions by any stretch. We will have mostly cloudy skies and a passing shower chance here and there, but that's about the extent of it as we're talking Wednesday weather. So it is not going to be a washout, thus the chance on your Union Home Mortgage 7-day outlook. Still mild tomorrow with low 70s for highs. Better chances for a few scattered showers on Thursday, and then things will cool back down, a little more seasonal looking ahead to this weekend. But again, most of the weekend does look dry.
Okay, thank you so much, Hollie. Last night, a Senate campaign showdown. For the first time, Ohio Senate candidates Tim Ryan and J.D. Vance debated each other on issues ranging from the economy to their credibility in a race that could determine which party controls the Senate over the next 2 years. Arlena Lai has the story.
Look at the CHIPS Act, lands the Intel project.
It was a chance for the candidates to create separation in a dead-even race.
They've borrowed and spent trillions of dollars that we just don't have.
And right out the gate, Republican J.D. Vance took aim at Democratic spending bills.
And that's thrown fuel on the fire of the inflation problem.
Democratic Congressman Tim Ryan fired back at the author and venture capitalists.
J.D. Vance has invested into companies in China. The problem we're having now with inflation is our supply chains all went to China.
But very quickly and throughout the debate, Ryan positioned himself as a centrist, trying to appeal to anti-Trump Republicans and independents.
Now, I've run against Nancy Pelosi. I have taken on Bernie Sanders.
In one of the most highly watched races for the open Senate seat being vacated by retiring Republican Senator Rob Portman, and in an evenly divided Senate, Ryan is surprising many, polling neck and neck with Vance in a Republican-leaning state, ahead 3 points in a Siena College poll, an actual statistical tie, while in a Marist poll, the two are even closer.
What happened in June with the Dobbs decision with the Supreme Court completely changed the complexion of this entire election.
And perhaps in the most heated moments of the debate,
Tim, you don't sound too bad. If you actually tried to do the things you talk about wanting to do, you wouldn't be half bad. The problem is you got 20 years and you failed to do any of it.
We need leaders who have courage to take on their own party. And I've proven that. And he was called an ass kisser by the former president.
And with an estimated $138 million in political ads spent in Ohio for this race, expect that messaging to continue. In the newsroom, Lena Lai, 3 News.
And for those of you looking to cast your ballot, today is the last day for Ohioans to register to vote in the November 8th election. In addition to the Senate race, congressional seats, the governor's office, state and local officials, and a number of amendments to the Ohio Constitution will be decided. Early voting starts tomorrow. And Cleveland City Council made 2 key decisions during their meeting last night. First, Council passed legislation that blocks the practice of conversion therapy by mental health professionals on minors. That includes practices that seek to change or alter a person's sexual orientation or gender identity. Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland Heights have similar orders. Second, City Council decided to expand its ShotSpotter technology to track violent crime in the city. Funds from the American Rescue Plan Act will be used to pay for it. The technology will also be added to neighborhoods with a high rate of gun violence. And in Avon Lake, Rumpke has announced that they will not bring a waste transfer station to the community after listening to resident concerns. During the meeting Monday night, Rumpke discussed the proposal for a facility on a 17-acre property on Pin Oak Parkway in the industrial park. Many worried about smells from the transfer station, what might leak from garbage trucks, as well as potential impacts to their property value.
It sets a precedent that, residents really do have a voice in our communities, especially when something like this may want to come in. I'm sure they do a great job environmentally in trying to protect everything, but there's always little seams, and there's always seepage, and there's always seagulls, there's always mice, and there's always rats.
A Rumpke spokesperson says they heard the complaints and decided to formally withdraw their application, saying in part that the company believes in integrity and collaboration and is focused on improving communities and listening to their customers. And we turn now to Akron, where the 6-year-old who died from injuries in a car crash has been identified. First grader Trayvon Walker Jr. was killed during a funeral procession last Thursday. Walker and 12-year-old Tymar Allen both died after being ejected from a car. Walker's school says counselors are on hand to comfort his friends and classmates. Today, Ohio Task Force 1 will return home from Florida. The 84-member team helped out with search and rescue missions in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. During their time helping, Ohio Task Force 1 rescued residents in need, evacuated dozens of people and pets, and assisted with searching for missing people. Okay, get this. More than 500 students from 20 districts attended the Teen Mental Health and Safety Summit at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse Monday. And boy, did they get quite a treat. Cavs star Kevin Love, who has been vocal about his own struggle with mental health, surprised the crowd. He spent time going over how he wished that he knew what they were learning when he was their age. The Kevin Love Fund started 4 years ago, and now his advocacy of sharing for free curriculum with schools is having a large ripple effect.
Everybody's going through something that we can't see. I've mentioned that so many times, but I truly believe it. It might not be you in first person, but somebody within arm's distance is going through something. And to spread a word of kindness or to be empathetic, to be vulnerable, whatever it may be, even just lending a helping hand or an ear to listen to somebody like that can go a long way.
One of the most important lessons from yesterday that Kevin Love shared is giving kids the okay to just talk about their emotions. And they learned healthy ways to express themselves. And of course, we have more on the summit on WKYC.com. Well, thank you for taking time to join me for this 3 News Now morning update. Our digital team will continue to bring you the stories making headlines around Northeast Ohio and beyond. Make sure you continue to check our social media pages and WKYC.com throughout the day. I'm Danielle Wiggins, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on Go, starting at 4:30 a.m. Have a great day, everybody.